The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader for attempt to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or are looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and let Bill know that the ISL sent you. This broadcast also being brought to you by Hanover Fist Racing, proudly sponsored by Disabled American Veterans. DAV, allowing veterans to get to and from their doctor's appointments using volunteer drivers, volunteer staff. Without them, thousands of American veterans would not be able to get the medical care that they need. So thank you, DAV, and thank you, Hanover Fist Racing. This broadcast also being brought to you by DHL and the DHL Express and David Llewellyn, Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites, Mr. Hoot Baker, and Motorsports Graphic Designs. You got something going through your head, you want to see it on your race car? Motorsports Graphic Designs for all your in-sim graphical needs. Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. DW12s at night. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined by Mr. Quentin Young. Quentin, how the heck are you tonight?
Good. Hopefully looking forward to a real good race, and hopefully go the same as Tuesday, where we ran 94 laps under green to start off the race.
Yes, that was definitely a fun race on Tuesday. Absolutely. Would like to take a quick moment before we get going with tonight's festivities to point out that last night, I believe it was at Kansas Motor Speedway, in the Monster Energy Cup series, the entire racing community received a grave reminder of just how dangerous this sport can be. Eric Almirola was involved in a three-car incident with Joey Logano and Danica Patrick. And at first, Eric thought he was okay. However, when he went to go extricate himself from his own race car following getting stopped from the crash, he couldn't move. Eric had to be cut from his car, backboarded into the ambulance, and was later airlifted to a local hospital where it was discovered that he had a fracture in his T5 vertebrae. Now, those of you who don't know where the T5 is, basically it's directly between your shoulder blades. So anytime you move your arms or, anything like that, your T5 kind of moves a little bit. So that's going to be a real painful one. Luckily, he is expected to make a full recovery. Was released this afternoon from that local area hospital. And we do, on behalf of the entire Roberts Tech Jobs Indy Speedway League, we do wish Eric a speedy recovery. Hopefully he'll be able to make it back for the upcoming All-Star race at Charlotte. Speaking of All-Star races, it has been recently announced that there will be an All-Star race in the Roberts Tech Jobs Indy Speedway League. It will pit the best drivers against the best drivers. Format has yet to be determined and track has yet to be determined, but we did just receive word that will be happening. This is race 17 of the regular season, and I would like to remind everybody that the remaining races are going to be Iowa, Daytona, and Dover. And the Dover race is going to be a real special race. Quentin, you're looking forward to the IRO5 version of that, and I know Isaiah Dupree is going to be looking forward to the DW12 version of that. Would you care to explain why to those just joining us?
Because there's this thing here called the RobertTechShop.com Triple Crown, which consists of the Watkins Glen race, the first trip to the Brickyard, and then Dover. Both myself in the AO5s and Isaiah in the 12s, we both won the first two rounds of that. So if we can win Dover, I believe it's $150 or something like that, and the trophy.
It will be a cash prize. I'm not sure of the exact amount of the cash prize. I'll have to get with Bill Roberts on that. But yes, you guys will be receiving a cash prize and a lovely trophy to go along with that. Just a few minutes left here in the hot lap session. Let's bear with me, folks, while I bring the standings up on my own screen. I have them up on your screen.
Leaders or fast time so far is Jay Anderson with a 31.214, almost a 10th clear of Creighton Carter in P2.
That's pretty impressive.
I do have had one hell of a draft.
Absolutely. This track, you're definitely able to feel the draft. It is only a mile and a half, but it's a deceptive. This is a 2 mile track. Oh, yes. we're at California. Never mind. Yeah, 2 mile track. You're definitely able to feel the. I keep thinking we're last week at Kansas, but rookie Ronnie Osmer throwing down a good time there. 31.364, sitting P3 currently, with
Gary Bauer P4.
Jay Anderson's Booze Brothers teammate, throwing down some wicked times there. Kevin Paskowich for Team Paskey Bofa, sitting P5. Bob Lacavara for Convergent Composites, sitting P6. David Llewellyn, P7. Tyler Graff, Joe Morganti, and my former broadcasting partner and race control guru, Mark Vega, sitting rounding out your top 10.
And we have Mike Whitaker in P11, Mark Mitchell P12, Chris Hamilton in 13th, Jack Laidlaw, I believe, in P14, Jose Olivas P15, John Antonucci P16, Terry Adams P17, Dominic Byrne P18. That's all the people that have taken time so far.
I have no idea who Jack Laidlaw is.
Neither do I.
Hold on one moment while I ask Race Control who Jack Laidlaw is. Sam Cooper Bennett and Martin Miller are going to be our race directors tonight. We're trying something new where race control and broadcast are going to be in 2 separate booths, so they're not influenced by us. We got scolded for that a couple weeks ago. Let's see what we have here.
I'm not sure who he is. I didn't notice him in the
I've never seen
Mazda either.
I was gonna say I've never seen that name before, and that's not something that we're going to be playing around with this close to the chase.
Yeah.
The entire competition committee has voted that no more drivers. Martin Miller, who actually has pulled himself from competition in the IRO5 and DW12s, he is allowed to race. However, he's elected to go into the race control booth and kind of learn how things work there. Looks like the final 10 seconds of hot laps are getting ready to wind down here. And qualifying will get ready to get underway. I just spoke to race control Sam Cooper Bennett. Does also not know who on earth that driver is, so appropriate measures are going to be taken. I know Sam, and he's a no-nonsense kind of guy, so he actually said he was about to ask me the same question. So we're good there. Qualifying getting ready to get underway. First set of cars making their way out on the track right now. Now, I would like to point out, for those of you who do follow all our series, the Thursday night Icebreaker series, or let me back up a moment here. The Tuesday night IRO5 series is going to be going to, I believe, Daytona?
Iowa's next, I believe.
Okay, so it's Iowa this week. and then Daytona the following week,
And then Dover, yes.
and then Dover. So we will be at Iowa this week. That broadcast scheduled to start at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Iowa. That's been one of my best tracks in the official series, so something I'm definitely looking forward to.
Iowa is definitely a fun track to be on, regardless of what car you're in. I've always enjoyed Iowa in across the board in what I've run with.
I haven't really been that big a fan of Iowa in the stock cars, but I absolutely love Iowa in the.
Oh, it's great in the modifieds. Absolutely great in the modifieds. And then the Thursday night Icebreaker Pro Mazda Series will be heading out to.
Did Lucas Oil, or was that this week?
That was this past week. We will be heading out to St. Louis, Missouri, and Gateway International Speedway. So that's always fun.
A fantastic race.
Absolutely, Gateway is always a fun track. Again, in any car I've ever driven there, Gateway has always been just a complete blast.
Yeah.
Very fun, very challenging. That's the way it is. First few times starting to come in here in qualifying. About 2.5 minutes left. Jay Anderson currently sitting P1. No real surprises there. Pretty much how they were in hot laps is how they are in qualifying right now. Ronnie Osmer jumps up to P1, 31.591. That's pretty well moving in solo qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised the Alex Green qualified. Normally he doesn't qualify and starts at the back.
Well, I'm thinking
he's top 5.
P5
6.
for Alex Green. That's pretty dang good. And he just got bounced by Mike Whitaker, who goes P1, 31.551. Whitaker's one of those guys that just if he gets a hold of a track, look out. And Whitaker seems to have a really good handle on the 2-mile tracks, both here at California and at. Thank you. So, just about 1.5 minutes left. And where is lollygagging around there, Mr. Gary Front Row Bauer? Watch for him when he pops off his 4th lap to jump up there at least top 5. Roughly.
There he goes.
There he goes.
With a 31.545. It's in P1.
That's just
by
insane.
Over half a tenth. Wow, in these cars, that's a lot.
Do you realize how many mathematicians' brains just exploded when you said that?
Yes, but too bad.
I'm just hey, I do the same thing all the time. So about 40 seconds left here. Current pole position, Gary Front Row Bauer, unofficial track record 31.546. Mike Whitaker, 31.551. Jay Anderson, 2/1000ths of a second back in 3rd. So you've got Team Booze Brother going to be starting P1 and P3, nose to tail. That is dangerous for the rest of the field to have those two guys hooked up at the start of the race.
Absolutely. If nobody splits them up, you're probably going to see Gary and Jay try to, if not actually run away with the race.
I want to thank you guys all
When them two get hooked up nose to tail, they're gone.
Hope everybody had a happy Mother's Day. Glad to see a good field. I was a little bit concerned we wouldn't. Hope you guys had an awesome Mother's Day and got to spend it with loved ones. Chase racing now in effect. 4 races remain, and the field is definitely far from locked in the DW12. A lot of guys in here still fighting for that position, so let's just be courteous to each other. May the best man win. I'd like to remind Tony, if he has his broadcast on, to please refresh trading paint. I know there are a few of us running new paint schemes we'd like to see on broadcast. Other than that, I want to thank Martin Miller and Sam Cooper for race controlling tonight. I want to thank Quentin, Tony, and I haven't listened in to see if Layla's there for broadcasting. Couldn't do what we do without you guys. Good luck tonight. Let's have some fun, and best man win. Chase is coming up.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, just a few things to point out before we start tonight's race. Flaming. No flaming. If you caught flaming, you'll be parked for 30 seconds, or given an EOL, whichever. Arguing with race control, that will give you an EOL. At any point, oh yeah, park for a lap anyway. If you use that apron at any point during the race to gain position, you will also be parked for 30 seconds. Going into pit road, call your pits through 1 and 2 and enter the pits at the end of the backstretch into turn 3. Failure to do this you'll be given a warning. At the second offence of not calling your pits, you will be parked for a lap. Other than that, happy Mother's Day and have a good race, everybody.
All right.
Mother's Day.
All right, so race control, Sam Cooper Bennett laying down the law to the boys and girls and kids, and everybody's all happy. So we are currently about 2.5 minutes away from gridding up. So if you have to use the little driver's room, now would be a good time to do so. Gary Front Row Bauer starting up on point. He's going to be joined on the outside by Mike Whitaker. Jay Anderson in the 18 is going to be inside row number 2. He's going to be joined by the 71 of Creighton Carter. Isaiah Dupree and David Llewellyn are going to be making up row number 3. Row 4 goes to Ronnie Osmer and Mr. Mark Vega. Jake Gordon and Joe Morganti are going to make up row number 5. Row 6 goes to Tyler Graff and Bob Lacavara. Johnny Antonucci and Kevin Paskowicz going to make up row number 7. Row 8 goes to Alex Green and Mr. Chris Hamilton. Our very own Terry Adams and Mr. Mark Mitchell are going to make up row number 9. And starting shotgun on the field in the 19th starting spot. 19 cars taking time, by the way. In the 19th starting spot, rookie Jose Olivas is going to be back there, and it looks like Dominic Byrne, the only car not taking time tonight, going to be back there in row 10 with Jose. So 20 cars scheduled to go off tonight. Martin Miller, Sam Cooper Bennett, thank you both for being up in race control. Mr. Quentin Young, thank you for joining me in the booth. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Just waiting out the final 30 seconds here. Boys, getting a little last-minute chatter in before we go live and in high definition. And I would like to say, Miss Betty Lou, if you're listening, hi. I was told late last time that you were tuning into the broadcast, so I'm saying it now. If you are listening, hi. Still waiting on Miss Layla Wilson to see if her Uber actually shows up. She's not that far from this track, being an Orange County girl herself. Fontana not being all that far away from the Orange County area. So we are expecting Layla possibly at some time, depending on whether or not her Uber got lost or not. So I'm hearing cars starting to grid up. And there we go. The cameras are actually working tonight. Hot dog as I knock on the wood dining room table that I used for my desk. So we are going to refresh some cars. And I'm being told all paints are up to date, so I did my due diligence there. Seems weird, Quentin, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems very weird to see what is essentially a Porsche 911 modified pacing a field for an IndyCar race on an oval. Now, I could just be talking out my backside here, but it just seems very weird. But that's just me. Would like to remind everybody that you are watching a presentation of RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, proud sponsor of the IndyCar Speedway League, is your Midwest leader for temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or you're looking to relocate to the Midwest, log on to RobertsTechJobs.com, take a look and see what they have. If you see something that catches your fancy, be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Pace car starting to roll off here. Gary front row Bauer going to be leading him to green. Going to be joined up on the front row there with the world's fastest hippie. And that would be Mr. Mike Whitaker. And we got Jay Anderson, and I believe that's yes, that would be Creighton Carter, outside row number 2. Isaiah Dupree, David Llewellyn, Ronnie Osborne, Mark Vega, Jake Gordon, and Joe Morganti rounding out your top 10 as we are ready to go green. Lights are out on the pace car. The field will be in Gary Bauer's hands. Once it exits coming off of turn 4. And like I said, watch out for those two cars on the inside, the first two, Jay and Gary teammates. Gary Bauer quicken up the throttle quite early, rolls into it. Whitaker slots in the 3rd spot, so that's a good one for him.
And they think they're going to try to break away now, as Whitaker's on the bottom. Looks like Creighton still hung out on the top side. I'm not sure if he's going to the back or not. It looks like he's in no hurry to get down.
Well, Creighton is another cerebral driver. As young as he is, he can be quite calculating with what he does. Whitaker going to the high side, trying to lay some rubber down up there early.
Looks like he's going to have, I don't know if he's trying to go to the front or not, but it looks like he's got help coming from Isaiah Dupree. Isaiah went right up there to follow him, and Isaiah just hung him out to dry.
Well, Mike generally likes to not run right at the very front. He wants to stay with whatever lead pack there is, but not lead the lead pack, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I don't play them. That's the strategy I tend to play in the NASCAR stuff on the plate tracks. But yeah, it was like it also helps save fuel too, because these things, it's going to come down if it goes green. Like it did Tuesday, it's going to come down to a splash at the end. So
well, from what I've been told,
you can save the best.
Right, and from what I've been told by our setup committee, this particular setup is it drives very similar to what we had on Tuesday night. It's a little more stable, and you see David Llewellyn latching onto the freight train that has become Team Boo's brother, and Gary Anderson leads us as we click off lap 3, starting on lap 4. Gary Bauer, Jay Anderson, David Llewellyn, Mike Whitaker, Isaiah Dupree, Creighton Carter, Ronnie Osmer, Mr. Mark Vega, Tyler Graff, and Alex Green into the top 10. Good to see Alex up there. Alex, who I might point out, also got his first NIS win last night at Kansas. So good on you, Alex. Congratulations there. Still getting a little exciting. David Llewellyn and Jay Anderson go side by side for P2. Anderson had the run on the high sides. Got him cleared right now, not dropping down too quick. Now he's really got him clear as Isaiah Dupree starts blinking just a tick there. Whitaker leading that high line. David Llewellyn going up to, see what it's like up there already. Definitely trying to save some tires early. As Whitaker goes around, Whitaker, your new P3. Here comes Isaiah Dupree side by side with Jay Anderson. Everybody's hanging Jay Anderson out to dry on that low line. So this is going to be an exciting race because we've already seen 3 passes happen from that high line.
Yeah, the thought is, too, was Llewellyn trying to go up and pull Whitaker and Isaiah and go around Jay to try to separate Gary and him?
That's a good possibility. I wouldn't put it past David to do so, as the top 3 are already half a second up the road. We are currently watching the battle for 4th.
They're 3 wide, or they look like we're 3 wide. Creighton is clear of Jay. Tyler Graff is clear of Jay's falling like a stone.
Yes, he is, and that could be a strategy. As David Llewellyn's still looking on the high side. Whitaker trying to get that 3rd lane worked in. That's the beauty of the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California, is that there are 3 usable lanes here. During a lot of the testing sessions that we did, there were a lot of cars that were, tempted to go up into that rare air and see what it's like up in the 3rd lane and get it to work.
Absolutely, especially if you get them 2x2 on the bottom. Because once you start to get farther back in the pack, you get them guys on the bottom starting to struggle with aero push, and you can absolutely make passes up on the top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But currently, Gary Bauer continuing to show the way. David Llewellyn still working that 2nd line. Mike Whitaker sitting in 3rd, just biding his time. Mike seems to be arcing his turns. I don't know if he's really trying that 3rd lane to get it to really work, as much as he's just trying to arc the turns to save the tires, so that
that very well might be.
He has tires at the end of the run, because if you watch, he's in that 3rd lane, now he's down towards the bottom, and then he'll let it run right back up to try to, well, he's not letting it really run this time.
Could it be trying to avoid the aero push, because at this speed, the aero push is going to be massive, and what people are trying to do is just trying to avoid the push.
When I first came into the session, I heard a couple of drivers say, hey, this thing's kind of pushy in the draft. So, yeah, that very well could be. Whitaker trying to put his car where the other cars aren't and get it pointed where he needs it early, so that if he does get pushed, he's not going to clobber the wall or clobber another car.
Or trying to figure out what he needs to do for later in the race to avoid the aero push when it comes right down to the end.
And the long game is Mike Whitaker's wheelhouse.
Yeah, especially with how the race went on Tuesday. You got to think some of these guys are thinking about long runs.
The longer this race goes under green, and Mike Whitaker stays on the... I was going to say, and Mike Whitaker can stay on the lead lap.
Better off he's going to be.
Absolutely.
It looks like there's definitely something wrong with Jay. He's down to 9th, and he's about to lose 10th to Mark Vega.
His speed seems to be there. Well, no, not really.
Always like a stone, though. Because Vega's looking to the top side, and it looks like if Vega doesn't pass him, Jake Gordon is getting ready to as well. So,
well, the thing is, I don't know what's going on with Jay Anderson, but his speed is there. He's right there with everybody else. Ronnie Osmer with a big checkup, running 8th. Jay gets around him. Osmer just falls like a stone, and there we go.
Who was that? Was that Ronnie?
That might have been Ronnie.
Yeah, that was Ronnie. He's breakdancing.
I have to find the car. I don't see where. There he is. He's buried in the track.
Looks like he was just super far off the pace. What happened? coming out of 4. He got hard in the outside wall coming through 3, coming out of 4.
And
Got hard
then,
in the wall, and then kept it going, and then it looks like it just lost it down in 1.
he's lucky that didn't continue to breakdance, because that could have been ugly. I mean, luckily the car got sucked into, it looks like the road course entrance. Well, let's back that up a little bit here. So we're looking the previous lap. Here they are going through 1 and 2. Got Tyler Graff right on his transmission tunnel. Hosmer goes to the low side. You see Isaiah Dupree on the top side there.
Looks like he just pushed up the hill off the back of Isaiah or Whitaker and just put it in the fence, because Mike almost hit the wall as well.
No, that's Isaiah directly in front of him.
And then Mike's one car in front of Isaiah, and Mike almost hit the wall coming off of turn 4.
And Ronnie did hit the wall.
Pretty hard.
We just watched him climb the wall, so that's...
it definitely had to have broken something in the rear suspension, because you look ways went on the front straightaway.
Oh, you can tell by the attitude of that car that
it looks like went on the front straightaway. It looks like it's
porpoising.
That's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, I know what I was looking for. Looks like it's yeah, I'll think of it eventually, but you could tell there was something definitely wrong with the suspension, because as soon as he went off and turned the wheel into turn 1, the thing just snapped on him.
Oh yeah.
And then he clipped Vega and straight head on in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. So tough break for the rookie. The points leader, I believe, in the Pro Mazda series. Tough break here tonight in the DW12s, as it looks like everybody's coming down pit road.
It doesn't really surprise me, because we ran 13 laps in that stint, and for what I heard in the earlier in TeamSpeak, it's about 19 laps on the tank.
Sounds about right.
So they're be almost on fumes by the time I get back to the restart anyway.
Well, you only have 9 gallons in the tank, so something to be mindful of. And it looks like Mike Whitaker able to beat everybody off pit road.
By a healthy margin, too. You wonder if maybe he missed his box, or did he stayed out. Whitaker stayed out. Maybe he was just trying to get the lap.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he did stay out. You're right.
Probably going to pit this time. Probably was just trying to get the lap lead bonus.
There you go. That's exactly what happened there. I was looking at the wrong box. Sorry, folks.
Only thing is, I don't know if this track has it where it's the quick yellows like it is at Talladega.
No,
so
it
I don't
doesn't.
know. Are the pits open? Okay, I was going to say,
Yeah,
if
the
it goes
pits,
right to degree now, I didn't know if the pits were going to be open for him.
Well,
But,
they have to be open, because the first once the pace car picks up the leader, that first
pits
time
open for lead lap cars.
Right, and then they
But there
have
was no
to
lap cars.
Right, but they still it's an iRacing glitch where they are told they have to keep the pits open for cars that are a lap down. It's something in the programming that even if there are no cars a lap down, it still stays open. So there, Mike Whitaker bringing the people against distracted driving car down. And no, you're not seeing things, folks. That is a psychedelic paint scheme on the, I believe, does that say Citroen powered?
I'm not sure.
That looks a lot like it says it's powered by a Citroen.
No, it's Honda.
No, okay, yeah, it does say Honda. The other
Better
side, though.
choice of color. I'd say a better choice of color for that would be preferred. But
well, no, I mean it is what it is. Mike Whitaker, always fun paint schemes. That's why we call him the world's fastest hippie, because show me another hippie that's willing to drive a race car 245 miles an hour at Talladega and Daytona. And I would like to point out that at our season finale in the IRO5s, Mike Whitaker actually won the season finale last year.
On fuel mileage.
On fuel mileage. So we jokingly call him the old hippie, but, one of the smarter racers in the league. And I am definitely proud to call myself a member of the competition committee with him, because he has been just invaluable help to the entire competition committee. Looks like the lights are out on the pace car field, starting to form back up 2 wide. Gary Bauer, Isaiah Dupree, David Llewellyn, Kevin Paskowitz, Creighton Carter, Tyler Graff, Jake Gordon, Jay Anderson, Jose Olivas, and Mark Mitchell rounding out your top 10. We are currently 17 laps. And, of course, wouldn't be a broadcast if I didn't have something right dead center of the screen throughout most of the broadcast. Thanks, Martin.
What, would you have the standings tab up?
No, I had the series sponsor logo.
Oh.
So nobody got to see the first 17 laps of this race. You're welcome. So two of the old guard lined up on the inside, and two of our young gunners on the outside. Gary Bauer, David Llewellyn sitting 1-3. Isaiah Dupree and Kevin Pasquich sitting 2 and 4, and they've got Creighton Carter and Tyler Graff sitting 5 and 6. So this could get interesting. A lot of hungry drivers out there right now. Isaiah Dupree, I believe, still has a win in this series. Of course he does. He's got 5 of them.
Like 5 of them. Yeah.
Gary Bauer, David Llewellyn, Kevin Pasquich still hungry for a DW12 win. Tyler Graff still hungry.
I thought KP got one at
Homestead, you're right.
I thought it was Pocono.
Pocono or Homestead, one of those two crazy tracks. And cautions, breeding cautions. Let's
Alex
see.
Green, Mark Vega, Joe Morganti are the ones I'm seeing right off the first glance.
All right, so let's take a look, see what happened here. We see Alex in the 30 up there. And that would be Joe Morganti catching the apron and killing everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's refresh
Vega.
trading. Let's refresh
Massive
trading
flip
paints
for
again,
Vega.
because Alex is sitting in an all black car for me, and I know that doesn't seem right.
I'm seeing his typical, what appears to be Home Depot car.
Well, I was told to adjust trading paints and refresh it, so I'm refreshing it. And yeah, Vega.
Massively airborne.
As I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, thank God this is a simulator, because that would have definitely resulted in at least a broken back, if not more, for
Head
Mr.
removal.
for Mr. Vega,
He
as
went
he.
head first in the catch fence.
Yeah, he. Get your hate mail coming, folks, because he just Dan Weldon that wall.
Not quite, but pretty close, yeah. I'd agree.
So. Alex Green having to tow the car, it looks like. Maybe.
It's like Joe Morganti was the only one. Joe didn't have to tow.
Joe,
Alex did tow, and Vega obviously towed.
Alex did or did not?
Did. Morganti was the only one who did not.
Okay. So that gave Ronnie Osmer one of his 2 laps back, as he's still 1 lap down on the field. Gary Bauer still showing the way here, and excuse me, folks, as I have to stretch my legs. And my computer is definitely not playing nice right now. So lights should be going out on the pace car. No, lights are still on the pace car.
Good to go. Alex is just rolling off of pit lane now, and it looks like he beat the pace car out. Just barely.
Yeah, just barely is right.
That'll help keep him 1 lap down. Instead of losing 2 laps, that'll only make him lose 1.
Vega getting
We'll lose the second
caught.
lap.
Yeah, just barely getting caught behind that. And I'm sure Vega, because he flew further in the air and had to wait a little bit longer for the car to come to a stop, that's why Alex Green was able to get out in front of him. Still wondering why Joe Morganti has not received the EOL. Because that caution was definitely caused by Morganti eating the apron.
Yeah.
But race control is Sam Cooper Bennett and Martin Miller tonight. You know, they know what they're doing. There's the EOL. Morganti going to the tail end of the field. So thank you, race control. You guys are awesome.
It looks like we'll have Gary Bauer. I think the light should be out this time. And we'll have Gary Bauer and David Llewellyn in the front row.
Yes, that will be Gary Bauer, David Llewellyn, row 1, Isaiah Dupree, Kevin Paskowitz going to be row 2. Creighton Carter and Tyler Graff, the teammates, are going to be row 3. Jay Anderson and Jake Gordon going to be row 4. Jose Olivas and Johnny Antonucci, row 5. Dominic Byrne, Chris Hamilton. Dominic Byrne, mind you, started shotgun on the field, already up to 11th. So the Irish assassin doing what he does best, just sneaking his way through the field to really pull one out. Hanover Fist and Bob Lacavara, row 7. Mark Mitchell and Mike Whitaker, row 8. Joe Morganti, Alex Green, row 9. Ronnie Osmer and Mark Vega in row 10. All cars still running. Alex Green 1 lap down. Ronnie Osmer 1 lap down. So they're fighting for the lucky dog at this point. And Vega is -2. So Vega's going to have to hope for a miracle to get back on the lead lap. As we are 22, we will be cranking off lap 23 when this goes back to green of 100 scheduled laps. Would like to remind you, Tony Trapasso and Quentin Young up in the booth, the New York connection doing it for you. Syracuse style. I'm stupid, I know it.
Again.
I'm stupid, I know it.
Anyway, we're already a quarter of the way through this race already, so the thing is, you get the guys like Whitaker to come back to the field. There isn't a whole lot of time left. You figure we're already almost a quarter of the way through, so the race is going quite quickly. So if you're still in the back, like Mike Whitaker is, based on a slightly different strategy than everybody else, he's gonna have to try to hurry because there's not a whole lot of time.
Well, here's the thing: Whitaker is only 3 laps onto his fuel stint. So
he must have topped off under the last yellow.
Right. So when and or if this thing stays green, Whitaker is in a great spot.
The thing Mike's gonna have to hope for, though, is that he laps the field when the caution comes, or if we go green till the green flag stop, that he ends up being the only one that stays out and ends up being the first or the only car in the lead lap. But because it's gonna be awfully difficult to make it, because these cars, once they get 3-4 wide or 2-3-4 wide in front of you, which they will, and they are, it's going to be awfully difficult to make passes.
Yes, it will be, but he does have a couple people back there with him that are relatively the same fuel strategy-wise, and it is getting chippy in the top 10. Good grief. I mean, we're watching the battle for second here with Dupree on the high side, Creighton Carter on the low, in the middle, kind of playing both halves against the middle. Llewellyn on the bottom side. Kevin Paskowitz trying to figure out which hole's going to
go with Isaiah. Creighton hopped back down in front of KP, and
yeah,
Isaiah's up on the top, and it looked like for a second KP was going to be with him, but
And here comes
decided better of it.
Anderson.
And here comes Jay. Yeah, with help from Jose Levis, and I believe that's Tyler Rapp.
That is Tyler Graff in the photo negative of Creighton Carter's car.
Creighton catch the wall there because he came off the top and shot back down awfully quick.
It looked like, I think he was just checking up because Isaiah was almost into the wall.
Oh, so, he almost ran. He looks like he shanked it down and kept running over Isaiah, but with the way the thing fired back down the hill, I thought he might have caught the fence.
No, I think he just, had the tires right to the hot point where they're going to work the best and was able to
try to not run over Isaiah.
Absolutely.
He had Isaiah hit, or he almost hit Isaiah pretty good, but.
And KP almost collecting the wall there as they
are into the bottom of Gary Bauer for the race lead. Gary lured him on entry. And they're 3 wide behind. It's Jay Anderson, Kevin Paskowich, and Jake Gordon, who is down on the apron.
Yes, he is, but he's
looks like he was just giving up spots and trying to get out of the mess.
I
don't entirely blame him for.
For being only 16 years old, Jake does show a lot of wisdom in his driving at times. Yes, great racecraft. I mean, there are times where you can tell that, yes, he's a younger driver and, he does some boneheaded stuff, but it's times like that when he can realize, he's 3 wide in a situation where he doesn't need to be 3 wide this early in the race.
That's
so
exactly it.
Definitely good on you, Jake, for that. Yeah. As they're 3 wide behind KP right now.
The inside of KP again.
Good grief.
5th, I believe, but
they are getting
on the top,
chippy here.
Tyler Graff in the bottom and Jay Anderson in the middle. Like Tyler just backed out of it entering the corner.
As we are quickly approaching lap 30, they are now on lap 30, and I don't think they can keep this up as we are quickly approaching green flag stop territory.
Osborne caught the wall real bad off of turn number 4.
And he is sinking like a stone right now. Almost a full 100 miles an hour off the pace.
Alex may have put him in the wall.
Well, let's go back and watch that one.
Alex hit him in the left rear, did some weird netcode things because the back end of the car sunk down. And he just
there you see Alex in the black car there. Osmer slide jobs him coming through 3 and 4, and Alex, if there was contact, let's take a look at Green's car right now.
See the left rear, you can see the back end of the Ronnie's car sunk down into the track. Looked like he might have caught him in the left rear.
Not sure what all that's going on there. Doesn't seem to be any damage on Green's car, though, so if he hit him, he didn't try to kill him. As we are back up at the front as Creighton Carter looking to the high side, trying to get a run on Gary Bauer, trying to work on that timing. Creighton, I think you're going to have to time your run a little bit better here.
As well as the fact Isaiah just cleared Llewellyn for 3rd. And KP's underneath him for 4th. Llewellyn's falling back.
Well, they are quickly approaching green flag stop territory as they are now 18 laps into this fuel stint.
You'll see probably next 3 or 4, you'll see people start pitting.
Generally, you're able to save between 2 to 3 laps fuel-wise every yellow. We've had 2 since these guys have last seen pit road, some of them anyways.
So yeah, they're getting ready to start green flag stops. And the thing I mentioned earlier about track position, it's proving true because Mike Whitaker is only up to 14th.
He is up to 14th, but
he hasn't gained 2 spots since we went back green.
And I don't think he's really wanted to. He's trying to stay with. It looks like he's.
Tyler Graff just came off of pit road. So Tyler's the first one to make green flag stops. He just came off pit lane.
And he is now 2 laps down.
He spun. What the hell happened to Tyler? He caught the wall, I believe, off of turn number 2. And then spun down through the infield, or ended up on the grass on the back, and he spun in the grass down in 3 and 4.
Well, here he is coming
kind of a forced pit stop.
Off of pit road.
He's back out 2 laps down.
Yes, he is. So Whitaker and Mitchell are 5 laps to the good over the rest of the field right now.
They're only down in 13th and now 15th for Mitchell.
Right. So
Optimistic.
13th and I got him in 13th and 14th.
Mitchell just got passed by Lacavara. Now it's 12th and 15th.
Okay.
But
Whitaker's
again,
starting to make some moves.
I would say, again, though, they're over 3 seconds behind the leader, and that's not going to be easy to make up here. How even these cars are.
Well, it's not going to be easy to make up.
They're going to need to hope for a well-timed caution.
Yes, they are. And during that well-timed caution, if they can trap some cars a lap down, good on them. Alex Green looks like he's calling his pit.
Yep. Olivas coming as well. The thing is, in a place like this, you're going to want to try to come down with multiple cars.
Oh, you need
down
to.
By yourself.
You need to, because the draft place
came down by himself last lap, and I think that's going to hurt him, because to go fast in these cars, you need draft, and not having it, I think, is going to be a massive disadvantage for you.
Absolutely, it is. KP being the only one on pit road, looks like.
The massive group something that just came down was, I believe, Alex, Chris Hamilton, Jose, and Jose Olivas all came last time, but there's a bunch more coming this time. I believe it's.
And Gary Bauer's not. No, Gary Bauer is one of them.
Yeah, Llewell. Everybody, I think, pretty much just came this lap.
They have to, because they've got to be almost bingo on fuel.
Whitaker and Vega. Whitaker, Vega, Tyler's keep going. Obviously, Tyler just pitted.
Right. It would be Whitaker.
Morganti,
yeah, there's a handful of them that
Vega, Whitaker
can stay out. Well, Whitaker and Mitchell are 20 laps into their stint. Morganti's 21.
So they're all going to be pitting.
Right, but the problem is Mitchell's not close enough to Whitaker to help him. He's over a second back. Morganti's almost 2.5 off of Mitchell.
Mitchell also has Vega in between those two, so Vega could have been a bit of a help, but they're all pitting this time.
Well, they're going to have to, basically.
Yeah, here comes
as Bauer and looks like
Vega,
Carter.
Vega, Mitchell.
And Carter loops it coming off pit road. Paskowicz up to speed already. 1 lap down. Gary Bauer 1 lap down. I believe by the time this shakes out, Paskowicz is going to have the lead.
What it looks like is, looking at it, Gary Bauer just shoved Creighton up onto the... Gary and Creighton were side by side coming out of the pits, and Gary just forced his way up into line. And I think Creighton was not happy about that and just stood on it. Or looks like he tried to go up and pass Gary.
Here we watch Gary coming out of pit road. Gary has...
Good save by Creighton, though.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of those deals that the competition committee is going to have to look at later. It looks like Creighton kind of was trying to get around Gary early and caught half of the apron.
I would say the thing I'm looking at, if you look at just the count of the pit lane, they were side by side exiting. Gary just forced his way up onto the lane of the access road, the lane of the apron. It's kind of shoved Creighton out of the way.
Well, again, that's something that the competition committee is going to need to take a look at, as we are on lap, looks like 41 now.
Yeah, Creighton just called race control and probably look at that incident. Tyler's tail end of the lead lap in 17th. Your leader is Kevin Paskowicz by 0.7 of a second over Gary Bauer.
Yeah, we saw KP go flashing by at speed because he went in almost a lap early.
By himself, which is kind of surprising. He came out with a lead after going in by himself. Must have really pushed hard on coming through 3 and 4.
Well, I'm looking at the stop times. I'm wondering how the hell he did it, because total time on pit lane 37.4 for Paskowicz, 37.3 for Bauer. In the box, 7.6 for Paskowicz, 7.2 for Bauer, 6.9 for Dupree.
You can haul on the apron. It didn't look like Gary was pushing very hard on that apron.
On the exit.
On entry as well.
Okay. Creighton
Gary
Carter.
was pushing hard and entry, and the issue with Creighton probably held up Gary quite a bit on pit exit.
Well, Creighton Carter with the quickest on and off pit road, 36.8. However, had a little more fuel to take on with a 7 flat stop. So Isaiah Dupree's pit crew doing it for him, keeping him in third.
Looks like Paskowicz is pulling away from Gary. The gap's now up to just over 0.8 of a second. And then it's over a second back to Isaiah Dupree, who Jake Gordon just passed Jose Olivas for fourth.
Yes, he did.
2+ seconds behind the leader.
So this is really shaking up our standings so far. Bauer almost a full second back. Isaiah Dupree almost a full second back off him. Jose Olivas almost a full second back off him. Right now, the closest
right on top of each other.
Yeah, I was going to say the closest battle on the track right now is between Jose and Jake, and this is your battle for fourth.
Also, Dominic and Morganti are real close as well.
They are. Dominic not pushing the issue all that hard. You see Morganti in front of him.
The thing is, are Morganti and Dominic trying to line up and close?
No, there he is.
It looks like they're trying to run down Mike.
Yes, they are. And thank you, Trading Paints, for effing up again. I give up. Let's see. Oh, boy. Yep. That ended poorly.
What?
You'll see on the stream. Oh, the cars just went white as I tried to refresh Trading Paints again. There we go. Whitaker's back in his normal paint scheme, and Dominic Byrne, the Irish assassin, back in his normal paint scheme. Good to see that. Let's see here. Paskowicz still half a second up the road over second place Gary Bauer. Gordon and Olivas side by side as they come down the back straightaway. Olivas with his nose out front.
Still looks like they're gaining in on Isaiah Dupree for P3.
They are.
Side by side. They're still closing in on both him and actually on the race leader, Kevin Paskowicz, who is seeming to maintain the gap to Gary Bauer as well.
No, he's actually just stretched that out to 0.6. So he's gaining a tenth every so often. I just saw
Gary gain 1/100th last lap on him. Went from 6:48 to 6:38.
I'm seeing live scoring, so don't pay any attention to me. This is just,
I'm using the...
Yeah. No, I got you. It's just, this is, as they sit, and Gary just closed it back up to 0.4. Now it's back to 0.6.
Graf hitting again. What's wrong? Are they trying to work backwards? Because they get guys pitting again. Tyler Graf pitting this time, and Osmer pitting again. So
Graf is 17 laps into a stint, and Osmer 18.
So they're almost out of fuel again.
Yeah.
Kevin's got to be close to being almost out as well. He's got to be 15, I think, into this stint.
13.
Oh, just heard Alex yell.
Alex yelled what?
Oh, Mark almost hooked him. They're bump drafting. It looks like Mark almost hooked him.
Which Mark?
Vega. It's fine, though. I heard him yell, whoa, over the chat, so we're going to go look at that. But they're both going again. It looks like they're closing in on, I believe that's Terry Adams and Bob Blackbar, but they're both laps down, so it doesn't really matter. Looks like Gary's closing in on KP now for the race lead.
He is.
As Olivas has opened up a bit of a gap on Jake for P4.
As Tyler Graf comes out of the pits a lap down again.
Yep.
And suicides into the wall.
Yellow, yellow.
Not sure what the hell just happened to Tyler.
He slid up
go
and
to the replay.
Apron.
Caught the apron. And almost annihilated Jose.
And then when he bounced off the wall, almost annihilated Jake.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
Looks like he slid up and got the transition wrong, and it just threw the thing at the wall. Thing is, too, how far were these guys on fuel? 16? 17?
Between 14 and 16 laps.
Okay, I was going to say, if they were on 18, you got to wonder if they're going to be able to make it back, but they're fine.
Let's see if Jose is in TeamSpeak right now. And doesn't look like he is. Because if he was, I was going to bring him down and ask him if some poo came out on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not in here. I don't see him anyway.
So, all right. Looks like
Looks like Alex Green will be the lucky dog. He's the only car one lap down.
all right. So that's going to help Alex, and well, Tyler Graff is a lap down now, but he caused that.
Too.
So yeah.
Looks like everybody's pitting this time.
All right. So
Jose Olivas stayed out. Must be trying to get the lap lead bonus.
Not sure,
Exactly what it is.
but okay.
He stayed out. Alex Green, obviously. There goes Alex for the lucky dog.
Well, Alex can pit on the next go around.
If he catches the field again.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
Jose Olivas stayed out. I'd assume to get the lap lead bonus point.
And as we're watching KP come down pit road here, Gary Bauer.
Gary won the race off pit road.
Gary Bauer winning the race off pit road. KP for second, Isaiah Dupree for third.
That's a good thing about having that first pit stall.
Absolutely. KP was a little bit back in the field, so Gary just had to could floor it. KP just trying to save some fuel here as we are just past the halfway point. Caution came out at the halfway point. Jose Olivas currently
later, but I'm almost certain you'll see Jose peel off this time.
I would be greatly surprised if he doesn't go down pit road because he's got 16 laps in, and Jose is definitely, and it looks like he is he's running really low right now. Let's see, is he going to peel off? Yes, he does. Jose taking it down pit road, getting that bonus point for leading the lap.
It looks like both Mark Vega and Ronnie Osmer stayed out, so you wonder if they're going to try to get a wave around. They're both stayed out on the track.
Well, let's see if they can pull this one off. Vega 14 laps into his stint, so that's going to be a little on the sketchy side. And Osmer,
thinking maybe we'll get a quick yellow and they can come.
I'm thinking they might too. Osmer 10 in. No, Osmer's 4 laps in to his stint, so he was one of the last cars that pitted under that last green. Johnny Antonucci, 10 laps into his stint, 1 lap down, I think.
Who? Antonucci?
Yeah, 2 laps down.
He's 5. He threw put.
Ah, okay. That would explain why he's showing 0 miles an hour.
Yeah, he threw put.
So, and if race control is listening, you might want to remind Mr. Carter that we have a no scrubbing rule. So,
What a grade this time. It will be Vega and Roddy Osmer will both get wave arounds, which means it'll be Gary Bauer and Kevin Pasquich on the front row, followed by teammate Jake Gordon and Isaiah Dupree on row number 2.
gotta love it. Excuse me, folks, while I try to figure out why my connection just took a poo.
That's not good.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why my CPU is running so insane right now.
Quality's still at 100 in the sim, so I don't know.
My quality is?
Yeah.
No, it's just my CPU because my graphics card is going ape right now.
Huh. That's weird.
So, Alex Green, I don't know what paint scheme you're supposed to be running, but your car is black for me right now, sir. As Gary Bauer getting ready to take the field back to green, Isaiah Dupree outside, Kevin Paskowitz, Jake Gordon, Jay Anderson, Dominic Byrne, Mike Whitaker, Creighton Carter, Joe Morganti, and Chris Hamilton rounding out your top 10. Pace car is in. And Bauer holding them down a little bit.
There he goes.
Green, green, green.
There we go.
He had Isaiah. Isaiah was right up underneath him for the majority until he dropped the hammer. We might have been waiting for Isaiah to back off because Isaiah was up under the back, up underneath the trans tunnel.
Oh yeah.
The pace car pulled off, which doesn't entirely surprise me.
And
Isaiah clears Paskowitz for P2, and it looks like Jay Anderson might be about to do the same. KP just chopped his nose off to get down.
That's getting chippy.
Tried to take his nose off.
Tried to take his nose off, thought better of it. KP getting hung out to dry on that second line right now.
Yeah. I don't think it's really they thought better of it as much as it is if he came down he was getting hooked.
Yeah, pretty much. And KP has had some pretty bad luck this season, so he's just trying to finish one of these right now.
Jay already this season as well.
Right. As he slots in right behind Jake Gordon. That is for 5th position. You're watching KP in the PH Aware Mighty sponsored car. And guess what, folks? Team Booze Brother has found each other again. So,
like Isaiah's blinking again on the top side. Not, but I see wing damage.
I just watched him do a rail slide through turn 2. So yeah, that's
and I can't say any race control because chat's disabled.
You can send a you can right click Sam's name and actually I'll do it.
I can't because I don't have admin. Yeah, driver chat's been disabled, so I can't say anything. Well,
I got it taken care of. Sending
which is on the Kevin got hard in the wall. He's on the apron sliding all over. Looks like he almost came back up in traffic, but
I was wondering where he went.
Shot with the wall because he's down on the apron.
As he slides it into pit road, let's take a look. See what happened. Wow, he was already damaged down the back straightaway. Here we are watching. He's already damaged going through 1 and 2.
What looks like it is he went to pull up to the top side and Jake came up to get out of the. Looks like Jake Gordon came up to get out of the aero push of Jay and just stuffed it in the or as Kevin went to go high to avoid the aero push off of Jake. Jake went up to avoid the aero push off of.
Finally
Jay
found it.
And put Kevin to the fence.
We are watching it now in replay. Kevin was in that second lane to try to.
Bad brake curve.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one. That's a definite tough one. But he gets down to the apron, down on the grass to get out of everybody's way.
Yeah,
so good on him for doing that, and he was able to save the car and not clobber anybody.
Absolutely.
So big props to Kevin Paskowitz for that one as he gets the car fixed. Looks like he's only going to lose 1 lap, so good on you there, Kevin. As Jake Gordon now looks to the high side on Gary Bauer as they come through the tri-oval. Gordon looks like he's trying to arc those corners. Gets a decent run down the back straightaway. Got him by 2 miles an hour. Going to need a little more than that. Creighton Carter coming with a head of steam too. As is Dominic Byrne, the Irish assassin, looking to the inside of Carter. Carter cuts his nose off. Carter following Gordon, teammates right there, I believe. No, I
No,
stand corrected.
Isaiah and Jake.
And Creighton, and thank you. And Dominic Byrne getting a little sideways as he touches the apron with the car.
Ronnie Antonucci was in the wall, and he just reset. Looks like he just got loose coming off of 2 and stuffed in the inside wall.
As we stay green.
But yeah, no big deal. Stay green.
Gary Bauer continuing to show the way. Jake Gordon looking on his high side. 0.2 of a second back as they cross the stripe. 0.001 of a second back, as they cross the stripe.
It's Dominic Byrne going to the bottom side. Looks like to maybe help Gary or just to try to get by Creighton.
I think he's just trying to get by Creighton.
Up in front, and it looks like starting to single back out. It looks like them running side by side up there has brought the entire pack back to them.
And have you noticed who's in 5th place?
Mike Whitaker.
Absolutely. So from the outhouse back up to the penthouse, good on you, Mike. Jay Anderson just biding his time there in 6th position right now.
Looks like Llewellyn and Chris Hamilton are side by side for 8th right now, and the Llewellyn on the bottom. So they're all trying to single out up in the front.
They are, but right now Creighton Carter trying to push Jake Gordon past Gary Bauer. And looked like he had him there for a second.
Everybody going up to the top side. They're trying to hang Gary out to dry. Surprised me to see Jay staying up top instead of dropping down to try to help his teammate.
Well, give him time. I think right now he's just trying to play the draft game to try to get up as much speed as he can.
Depending how close these guys are on maybe need an extra stop, you think they might be trying to save a bit of fuel too. Because if they pitted on 50 or 52, they're going to be right. Or shit, they might be good on. Never mind, I'm not thinking right.
Well, they're 13 laps into the stint right now, and we've seen them be able to go 20.
So they're going to be pitting relatively soon. It'll probably be this and probably one more stop.
Yeah, because they're going to be pitting in the low 70s, high 20s. So it's somebody could try to stretch it. I'm not going to put it past anybody to.
Might see somebody try, but I don't know how well it's going to work for him. I believe Dominic's up to 3rd.
Well, here's the thing right now.
Jake's 2nd. And Dominic clear him off turn number 2.
As David Llewellyn eats the wall.
On the bottom.
And David Llewellyn just caught
super far onto the apron down there on the back.
And he's dropping like a stone because I don't even see him. Oh, there he is.
Chris Hamilton, not Llewellyn.
That was Hamilton that hit the wall.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're going to have a talk with Mr. Hamilton about repainting his car because, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, I agree. As Dominic still looking to the inside of Jake Gordon for 2nd. Looks like this time he might have some help down there.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to Jake, too, because, this whole 2 cars painted identical, that's not working, and I'm having trouble deciphering if it's him or Isaiah. One of them's got to paint their rims because I'm sick of this.
Their cars don't look anywhere near the same.
You need to refresh. You need to refresh your trading paints because they're twins.
I did. I see Isaiah in a blue and black car, I believe.
No, they're blue with white stripes. Blue with white stripes.
I still see Jake in the red one.
As 18 laps into the stint,
Oh, there we go.
29 laps to go. Gary Bauer continuing to show the way. Green flag stops are incoming.
This time, I believe that's Isaiah Gonti. Let me go look. Jay Anderson's hard in the pit wall. Something happened to him on pit lane. Not sure what happened. Oh, it looks like he caught the wall up in 4 and then just looped it down to the pit lane and flipped halfway on the pit lane.
And Alex Green on pit road. Joe Morganti, Creighton Carter, Isaiah Dupree.
Is Jay still trying to grab it down?
As Jay is still trying to crab into his pit stall.
Looks like that time it was just Alex, Joe, Creighton, and Isaiah.
Yep. Which is surprising that Isaiah would leave his teammate like that. Mike Whitaker staying out. Looks like we got another round of pit stops inbound as Jake Gordon finally goes pit side. Gary Bauer continuing to show the way, over a second and a half up right now as Whitaker and Llewellyn are side by side. Llewellyn coming down.
This time,
Whitaker coming down. It looks
Whitaker
like
almost turned himself off the nose of Dominic Byrne.
Gary
this time.
And he almost turned David too, so that was something that
barely got in.
Yeah.
Lacamara in. Mark Mitchell is staying out. Just
Bauer's in too. Bauer went way late, it looked like. So Mitchell staying out, Byrne staying out.
Whitaker came in, never mind. I'm sorry.
Bauer's in, Llewellyn's in, Whitaker's in, Lacavara is
Mitchell's
in.
Staying out. Mitchell came in too. That was a real late entry by Mark. Might be something Race Control may want to look at. He came down or as they were in 3.
You can start to go on in 3, but they want you, not any later than the entrance to 3. So
it was kind of as they were entering, as the corner started.
Well, let's take a look at that.
It looks like Terry Adams beat out Gary Bauer. Now, what did they put on this? Oh, never mind. Terry's a lap down.
I was going to say, Terry's a lap down there, bud.
I just looked at Terry in front of him. Never mind. Jake is way out in front of... Jake Gordon is the race leader by 2 seconds over Isaiah Dupree.
I see that.
Creighton Carter in 3rd, and Gary down in 4th. But Gary is way back. Gary's like 5 seconds back.
That has really shaken up the field. I'm not seeing anything weird going on.
Jake, I'm assuming, just got a real good run on entering an exit. You don't realize how much speed you can carry on pit entry here. I noticed that on Tuesday as well, as that's where I was making up 3/4 of a second to a second.
I would like to point this out, though. As far as on and off pit road, Mike Whitaker just had the stop of the night with a 36.6 from the entrance cone to the exit cone. That is the best pit road time of the night.
He's also 8th and 5.5 seconds off of the back of Jake.
Right. So I don't know what to make of that.
The exit cone to entering cone, that's just between the cones. I'm talking about being able to carry speed around through 3 and 4 and being able to get on the brakes. I noticed on Tuesday I was gaining half a second to around a second on people on pit entry because I could just brake so much later and carry so much more speed through 3 and 4. That's going to be a big thing. And I think that's what helped Jake. I know certainly Isaiah, at the very least. I'm not sure about Jake, but I know they're both really good road racers. And being able to brake really hard and really late is something that a big technique when it comes to road racing. And I think that's something that gives guys like us an advantage on pit entry.
Well, because you know how hard you can really push the car on a flat corner.
Up.
Right.
And running more rear brake and everything else like that all helps it stop a lot faster. Did something happen to Vega? Because he just disconnected.
I don't know.
He got up, caught the wall, and just alt F4 by the looks of it.
I have no idea.
I'm looking. You think he just got it too? He just got up and hit the fence and quit.
Paskowicz is on pit road again.
You can make it from here, I think. If
20 laps in, it'll be a stretch. That's a big gamble too, because he's already 1 lap down.
Absolutely. That was a planned stop by the looks of it, because he was on the apron. But he also looks like he spun when he tried to get on the brakes. It looks like he started to wheel hop it and spun.
Possibility.
Spun and probably got a penalty as well.
Time will tell.
He hit the cone, or he got in between the cones and ended up spinning into the grass before the pit wall started.
Tonight's Heartburn brought to you by Orange Dragon Chinese Food, Nedrow, New York.
Isaiah Dupree not making any ground on Jake Gordon for the lead. And Creighton is still over a second back behind Isaiah.
And Gary's over a second back off of him. David is over is half a second off of Gary.
I think Creighton's got... Oh, Gary's pitting this time. Yeah, they'll probably realize they can make it, so they're going to start to see the next round of green flag stops. Starting right about now.
Looks like David might be going with Gary, but it's still a little bit early to tell.
David's at the line.
And I wasn't even live, so how about that?
That would probably help. Looks like Alex Green was the only one to come with Gary. Alex Green and Bob Lacavara. And Chris Hamilton's in this time as well, but he's in 13, so. I'm not going to have that big of an outcome on the end of the race.
Alex was one of the last cars on the lead lap. This is definitely going to shake the field up a little bit.
With how spread out the field is, though, I doubt we get another caution unless somebody spins coming on or off pit road. But this time, Llewellyn, Olivas, and Whitaker all came down nose to tail and almost made contact on pit entry. Not sure why you'd be taking tires. I think you'll see some guys gamble with not taking tires only because
Green
only ran 5 or 6 laps on that stint.
Right. Green did take tires. I just want to point that out. Yeah. Jose Olivas took tires.
Llewellyn taking tires. Whitaker taking tires.
Llewellyn took tires. Whitaker took tires, yes.
Kind of surprising to see people taking tires like that, only because, like I said, you only ran like 6 laps.
Yeah, but you've got 20 to go, at this rate, 15 to go.
Still, though, with that few laps remaining, you'd think that be able to gain 2 seconds on pit lane, even because you only ran 5 or 6 laps on the set. You figure...
No, they ran more than that.
Time, I didn't think so. They pitted 70, and they're coming...
It's 86 now.
Holy crap, yeah, never mind. So they ran 15 laps on that set. So yeah, they're pushing 30, but still. You'd think at least somebody would risk it. He's Creighton Carter coming in this time. Teammate Tyler Graff coming in this time.
Well,
maybe not. Tyler hit the apron, but he stayed out.
He probably was coming in hot, so...
Then he pulled back up. But yeah, I believe Creighton's the only one coming this time.
Well, let's see what Mr. Carter does. As we are on board with Alex Green, just following...
Heard somebody spin, I think. Yeah, somebody did. Kevin Paskowicz, hard in the outside wall. Turn number 1. Looks like he was down on the inside. He got... I think his wheel disconnected.
Yep.
Because he went down into one, the thing went lock one way and lock the other.
Mine did that the other night to me during the Pro Mazda race at IRP. Here he goes into turn 1, and all of a sudden the car just... Flap, see it, bye.
Lock one way, lock the other. There he goes. See it, bye.
Just straight up the hill. That's a basilar skull fracture waiting to happen. So, thank God this is a simulator. So that's going to really shake things up as we only have 5 cars left on the lead lap. And guess who the lucky dog is? Terry Adams. Creighton Carter getting caught a lap down. David Llewellyn getting caught a lap down. Gary Bauer getting caught a lap down.
Jose Olivas a lap down. Mike Whitaker a lap down. Ronnie Osmer a lap down. Jay Anderson a lap down.
Alex Green and Bob Lacavara as well.
Caught a lot of good cars a lap down.
We only
for sure.
That's going to leave us with 5 on the lead lap. Some might
see a whole hell of a lot of waiver rounds. Almost all of them. I'm pretty sure all of them will take waiver rounds.
They have to. You have to at this point. Now
that helped Terry a lot.
Oh yeah,
being the one that got the wave a lot, and that was what guys like Mark, especially somebody like Mark, was looking for, because he was running back 10th, 11th, 12th. Same with Joe Morganti. They're
Yeah.
running back 10th, 11th, and that caution brought them straight up to the front.
And it looks like Jake Gordon is going to win the race off pit road.
Jake Gordon, then Isaiah Dupree, Joe Morganti, Dominic Byrne, and Mark Mitchell.
And Terry Adams getting the wave, catching onto the tail end of the field. So Creighton Carter taking the wave, David Llewellyn taking the wave, Gary Bauer, Jose Olivas, Mike Whitaker, Alex Green, Ronnie Osmer all taking the wave around. Jay Anderson not taking the wave around.
I think Jay got caught, or Jay was on that because of the contact with the wall. That's the only reason he was down, or a lap down before he was a lap down on, not on strategy. If that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't, because I completely failed at what I was trying to say.
Some from column A, some from column B.
Maybe, but yeah, he had a incident earlier, so I think he was a lap down because of the incident, not because of strategy fails.
I'm with you.
There we go. Finally got it.
And he is mired back at the tail end of the field right now. So a lot of cars taking the wave.
7 cars getting the wave. They're going to get the wave around. Only coming to 1 in the green. Or 8 cars, I believe. 8 cars are going to get the wave around. Should be interesting to see how guys like Gary and David Llewellyn get up through the field. Because they're only going to have like 10 laps left when we go back green. 9 or 10 laps left when we go back green.
It's not going to be 10 unless we get 1 to go
9.
right now.
We'll get 1 to go with the line, but it'll be 9 to go.
Yep.
When we go back green, so you're going to see them guys. They're going to be pushing harder to get back to the field.
So it'll be short track Saturday night here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Oh, good grief.
And I have a strong feeling we're not done with cautions yet.
I have a feeling your feeling might be a strong feeling and a good feeling to know about. And speaking of feelings, if you're feeling underappreciated at your informational technologies job, you need to go to robertstechjobs.com, your Midwest leader for IT, temp to hire, and contract positions for IT professionals in the Midwest. If you're in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate to the Midwest, because let's face it, your boss is a southbound end of a northbound horse, and you feel underappreciated, you need to go to robertstechjobs.com. Take a look and see what they have. Bill Roberts will take good care of you. Let him know the ISL sent you. And there go the wave around cars. Jake, where are you going?
I don't know. Did he think he was a wave around car or something?
Yeah, Jake, you're leading the race, bud.
They give him an A for effort.
You don't get a wave around. No, you're not trapping the field a lap down that way, sir. I'm going to make you earn it. So the teammates in the twin cars that I can't tell apart other than one of them's got funky numbers on the Kardashian.
White number.
Yeah, you guys got to do something about that. Like, paint your wheels.
One run silver rims and one run black or something.
Yeah,
or
change
the color of the roll hoop.
Yeah,
something that
something,
apart.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's hard to tell them two apart.
So, as
hang on, we're not going green.
Oh, somebody kill me.
Joe Morganti and Dominic Byrne are also teammates, and they're starting on run number 2.
Yes, but
we just laid the green. Not sure why.
I have no idea why, but yeah.
Maybe you guys weren't caught back up yet, because
that's what it looked like. And
did Ronnie try to make a stop?
I don't know.
He did. He took the wave and made a stop.
No idea, but Isaiah is blinking worse than a kid with lemonade in his eye.
Oh, yeah. And there's 3 cars on the top side.
Yeah.
Everybody else is lined up on the bottom because of the way.
End of the longest line. That's what it was all about. Was cars weren't where they needed to be.
Yeah, that's gonna be even worse for somebody like Gary because he's got to get through, I believe, like 8 or 9 cars on the bottom.
He's got to get through 8 or 9 cars on the bottom, and he can't pass before the start-finish line, or else that's a black flag. So good luck, kids. We are going to be 7 to go when we actually get the green. Yes, we are.
Yes, we will.
So
let's get on the top of the pace car. Try to go get this race back underway.
A 7-lap shootout. Let the games begin. This is when it gets exciting.
I have a feeling we're going to have another wreck. Just because you're going to have guys like Gary being ultra aggressive trying to get back to the front.
Well, you got David who's ultra aggressive, Gary who's ultra aggressive. You've got Tyler Graff who's still hungry for a win.
I do got somebody like Joe and Mark who are both just going to try to go for broke and get wins.
Well, Joe, I think, has a win.
Jake especially, because Jake
doesn't have
lock itself in the chase.
Yeah, so
he's going to go for broke.
Jake,
same with Terry Adams.
If I was Jake right now, I would be the most blocking mother effer that you ever saw behind the wheel.
Yeah, he will. Dominic is both
waiting.
Half the top 6 are probably going to be that way.
Oh yeah.
Jake, Isaiah.
Terry's about the only one you don't have to worry about being overly aggressive, because Terry just wants to bring the car home in one piece. He's pretty much
Dominic being really aggressive too, trying to get a win.
Oh yeah.
But as I said, that Isaiah and Jake are locked nose to tail and trying to break away.
That's what it looks like. That's what we're watching right now.
Looks like they might be able to as well. So it looks like Dominic and I believe that's who's behind Dominic. Is that Joe? Yeah, it's Joe Morganti behind Dominic Byrne. Looks like they're trying to get the high side to work to try to run down Jake and Isaiah.
Well, the one who's got me a little bit terrified is the 22. Because Mark Mitchell, I haven't seen too much of him this season. And
neither have I. I think the last time I saw him was Tuesday in the 12th, or Tuesday in the 05.
Right.
So I said that Dominic has caught back up to the back of Isaiah Dupree and Jake Gordon for the race lead.
Yes, he has.
6 laps to go this time. 6 laps to go.
Now, if I was Isaiah, I would make my car as wide as I could
to help block Jake in the chase.
Help block Jake in the chase, because Isaiah's already got a handful of wins. He doesn't need another one. And he knows that his teammate needs to win to make sure that he's in, because he's missed enough
the season because of always broken wheel.
Right. So he's got just enough minimum race entries to be able to qualify himself for excuse me.
Qualify himself to make it on a win. So he definitely needs to win to make it on the chase.
That's what I was trying to say, folks. I do apologize. The sip of water I took went down the wrong hatch.
That's honestly what it looks like. That was Isaiah's back there playing blocker for him.
And that's exactly what he's doing.
He just took Dominic's nose off entering turn 3. You could tell that's exactly the game
Absolutely.
plan.
And we've got a wreck.
We're wrecking behind.
That's going to do it.
Terry Adams upside down, and my computer just went poo-poo. I have 3 frames.
I'm trying to find... there he is.
Llewellyn and Terry. Or Terry, it looks like he just lost on his own.
It looks like Gary Bauer got caught up in that mess, too.
Same with...
there you see Terry on the low side.
Creighton
Carter turns him.
Creighton just caught him in the left rear.
And Gary ran over David, because that sent Terry spinning. Terry was in absolutely no control of that car once Creighton hooked him.
And then David got up and had nowhere to go and ended up hitting Terry, and then I think Gary went to go avoid low and came right down in front of him.
That's exactly what I saw too. So we were watching, and there it goes. Just blap, snap, see it, bye.
Good job by a lot of other cars to avoid that incident, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That should have been a lot bigger of a wreck than what it was. People just scattering through the grass down there.
So let's see a chase view. They almost touched going through 1 and 2. Creighton thought better of it, ducked in behind Terry. You see, we're riding chase view on Terry right now in the stream. And you see Creighton sticking his nose in there as they haul off into turn 3. You see Mark and Joe, and just he ran him over. He ran him over. There was.
Say, to play devil's advocate, it looked like Terry. Looking at it, it looked like Terry caught the arrow push off the back of whoever was in front of him. I believe that was Mark Mitchell, and he bailed out of the throttle keep from running over Morganti.
Well, and, let's go in car.
Creighton was 6 mile an hour faster.
You see Creighton in the mirrors there as we ride on board with Terry. I'm going to shut up and you guys listen to Terry's throttle control and you tell me what you think.
Definitely sounded like the revs dropped in the middle of the corner.
To me, it just sounded like normal engine bog.
I don't know. It sounded like that revs definitely dropped just before Creighton got it. Which makes me think he was rolling out of it, because he dropped 3 miles an hour relatively quickly.
Now we're on board with Creighton. What took place there, Terry was hugging the low line. That just sounded like normal low line engine bog to me as Creighton arced the turn, carried a little more momentum, and that's how he was able to catch Terry like that.
That's true. And also, you saw Terry start to slide up the hill. You wonder if Creighton thought he was going to keep going up, and Creighton tried to poke his nose in underneath. That's what it looks like, because you saw Terry start to run up the hill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Creighton looks like he diamonded off trying to get the run underneath him.
So, we are on lap 99 right now.
And lights are still on the pace car, I believe. Not double file, so obviously it's...
Right.
It's that first one of the season for Jake Gordon.
First one of his career. In the ISL for Jake Gordon. So we are going to go into the TeamSpeak booth and talk to Mr. Gordon here. Jake Gordon, Tony up in the booth, you got me.
Yeah, I got you, Tony.
How's it feel?
Oh, it's indescribable, man.
You just punched your ticket to the chase and got your first official win in the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tony. It's just the last 10 laps were just nerve-wracking, and me and Isaiah just on that restart, we timed it perfectly. I counted it down, and we got, I think, a 6/10 lead coming to the line. It was nerve-wracking.
Well, it was definitely fun to watch. You can definitely tell that you two are teammates. But I need you to do me a favor. One of you needs to change your wheel color so I can tell your two cars apart.
We're going to have to do that Formula 1 thing and have our names on the fin.
Well, do something different, because...
Change the roll color or something, because it's hard to tell you guys apart. But correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked up here like it was relatively obvious that the whole point there was to try to get you a win, because it looked like Isaiah was back there blocking pretty hard for you.
Yeah, well, Isaiah felt bad for last week at Kansas for, the end of the race.
For hanging you out to dry?
Yeah, so he was like, I'm going to let you get in the chase. I was like, thanks, dude.
Yeah, that's what it definitely looked like from up here. It was definitely a bit of teammates working together trying to make sure you both ended in the chase. He's already locked in for a handful of wins.
Yeah, well, he's, the only current driver that has, as many wins as he does, so, I think he's willing to give up a couple for me.
Well, congratulations, Jake. We'll let you get back up to celebrate. We're going to pull your teammate down next for his P2 positioning there as soon as I can figure out where the hell he is. Where did he go?
He's in the road channel.
He's in the road channel. Again, Jake, congratulations, and go ahead and burn him down, bud.
Thank you.
Jake Gordon, everybody, as
You moved, not him.
right. So we're gonna bring Isaiah in. We're gonna move Jake up. And as soon as I figure out where the road channel went,
Wherever you are.
wherever I am, there I am.
User was moved to your channel.
And then I move me down.
Channel switched.
Isaiah Dupree, Tony up in the booth, you got me.
Yes, sir.
So, how does it feel playing pulling guard for once in your career?
It was nice. I really owed him that after last week when I stole his first win from him. So it felt nice to know that I helped him get his win tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking after watching what happened last week that if you were going to do that to somebody, at least buy him dinner and a movie first. Holy cow. But no, you definitely were keeping Dominic Byrne at bay, and had that gone green the entire way, I think you probably could have been able to hold Dominic off for Jake. And, you guys definitely were working together like good teammates should.
Yeah, it was fun. I was hoping the race would have finished under green there, but caution kind of made everything a little bit more interesting.
It did make things more interesting, but again, a result is a result. P1 and P2 for your team there. Congratulations. Dominic Byrne coming in to celebrate with you guys, we see. So definitely congratulations. We'll see you guys Tuesday night at, I believe we're at Iowa.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, great job, Isaiah.
So Isaiah Dupree, we're moving him back up into wherever the hell Jake is, if he's still there. There he is.
User was moved out of your channel.
And now we try to find Team 3 Musket Beers, and
User was moved to your
for Team 3 Musket Beers, the Irish assassin himself, Mr. Dominic Byrne. Dominic, P3.
Hey,
Congratulations on the podium, sir. Hard fought from what it looked like, too.
man, I was just taking it easy the entire night. I just want to get out of the game here quickly. No, I was just taking it easy the entire night, trying to stay out of trouble, and the cards played out correctly for me.
Well, you must have,
It's a big change from last week anyway when I got wrecked out.
This is true. Definitely good to see you back up on the podium. Walk us through those last handful of green flag laps. Could you tell that Isaiah was trying to block for Jake to get the win?
Oh yeah, well it definitely looked that way to me. Oh well, I don't know. I was just trying to get up behind him and try to slingshot past him, but it wasn't working for me, and I knew that it wasn't gonna work for Isaiah either. Jake just had to lock him down, and he did, and he got it. And then was it Terry who got spun?
Yeah, Terry basically got ran over to bring out that final caution. Yeah, that was Terry had a great finish coming. Now he was definitely, I believe he was top 5 at the time that it happened. So it was a shame to.
I was doing all night, just taking it easy and staying out of trouble and trying to make it into the top 10.
Right, and then you had Creighton Carter just ran him over. That's what the replay showed, and that's what if you can see it in the stream. Terry had that low line lug that sometimes happens when you try to protect the inside line. Creighton arced the corner and just Kardashian'd him.
That's an awful shame. Well,
So
hopefully he has better luck next week.
Hopefully everybody has better luck at Iowa. So first time the series is actually going to go to the Iowa International Speedway. Something that I'm looking forward to because that's a fun track in just about any car that you put out there, and we'll see what takes place on Tuesday night, Tom.
I'm just glad it's a lot bigger than Richmond, that's for sure.
It is a little bit bigger than Richmond.
Same size as Richmond, just the corners wider, like a lot longer.
It,
3/4 miles.
yeah,
It's more manageable.
yeah, it's a little bit wider,
A lot rounder.
a lot rounder, a lot bumpier. I like it. I've run there with another group that I run with, and we've done modifieds there, and it's been a blast. So something to look forward to on Tuesday night. Dom, we'll let you get back up to Team 3 Musket Beers, and congratulations on the podium again, sir.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Tony. Thanks to everyone else in the booth. And thanks, Race Control.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Quentin. So we got another one in the books. Race 17 of 20 of the regular season. So just 3 short races left before the chase, and that means only 3 more possible positions up to grab on wins. I refuse to take a look at the points right now because we are going to be adding 5 drop weeks as they are starting to come off one by one as we get closer to the cutoff point, which will be Dover. You're going to have a target on your back at the Tuesday Dover race. Isaiah's going to have a target on his back on Sunday's version of the Dover race, because you both are going for the Roberts Tech Jobs Triple Crown Challenge, which I got to say, I don't envy you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult race for sure, especially because I honestly have never raced these many cars at Dover, so it's going to be interesting for sure. But I'm looking forward to a challenge.
All right. So for Quentin Young joining me in the broadcast booth, Sam Cooper Bennett and Martin Miller, thank you guys for being Race Control. Awesome job as always. This has been a presentation of RobertsTechJobs.com and the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. For all your Midwest IT professional needs, RobertsTechJobs.com, temp to hire and contract position jobs in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you're in the Midwest or you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Next broadcast will be Tuesday evening at roughly 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time from Iowa. I'm really looking forward to the league going to Iowa. I heard some promising things from the early reports of what the setup is doing there. I heard 30 laps are possible in the IR05, without having to make a fuel stop, so that's something to look forward to. Hopefully we can see some good green flag action like we have seen in some of the other series when they've gone to short tracks. Then the Pro Mazda series on Thursday nights, they go to Gateway. Again, another very fun track. And then we're back at Iowa on Sunday for next week's DW12 race. Thursday scheduled to go off at the broadcast scheduled to go off at 8:50 p.m. On Thursday and Tuesday. And next Sunday's broadcast should start roughly 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. So once again, for Mr. Quentin Young, I am Tony Trapasso. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay safe, and we will see you on Tuesday.